Hi everybody, welcome to A Proverbs Home. I am so glad that you can be here today. And today we are going to be trying foods from the Depression era. There were people that were very hungry. They had to use their stamps and their ration cards to be able to go get food. And during that time, there was not a whole lot of refrigeration. Those who had refrigeration were those who had like more money and they were able to refrigerate their foods, but a lot of people did not have it. So they cooked many meals that were different that maybe today we probably would not eat. And I wanted to try those meals today and tell you my honest opinion and what I think about them.
You downtown today.
Very excited to try these different dishes that I've never had. Now, I've had grits before. This is the first one we're going to try. But during the Great Depression era, they used to make grits and they used to put a soft egg on top where it leaks out, like the sunny side up eggs. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to try that. I did sprinkle some salt on top of the egg and I'm going to try it to see if I like it. Now, the grits back then, they used their ration cards and their stamps to buy food. And the food that they got wasn't expensive stuff. They didn't go on and get a lot of box cakes and stuff like that, name brand things. They got what they could afford for their family. Refrigeration at that time was something that was not common. A lot of people during that time did not have refrigeration. So they ate what they could. They ate what was very inexpensive. So I am going to try this. I do have packages of grits and oatmeal. I do use these for like a quick fix before I go to work or something. So I wanted to go on ahead and I wanted to try to see if I am going to really enjoy the eggs with the grits. Maybe some of you have already had it and like it. And these are the butter grits. I have different flavors of grits. So let's go on ahead and let's try it. Now, I like soft eggs, but usually I like having it with toast. It's kind of a culture thing in my culture. We have sunny side up eggs, we have toast, and we dip the toast inside the soft part of the egg, and it is so good. But that was pretty good. I think this makes a really good breakfast, or if you want something quick for dinner. I really, really enjoy it. If you're like into the soft foods, you like the egg yolk and stuff, you would like this. And I really enjoy it, but you really have to like grits. I like grits. I don't know if you would like them, but that was good. Now, you may wonder, where does American cheese come from? Well, back then they made American cheese to be preserved because, like I said, there wasn't a lot of refrigeration. So the cheese was able to stay out. I remember when I was a kid, they used to donate the big blocks of cheese to our church. And I remember my mom bringing that home. It came in a box. I don't know how many of you remember that cheese. And that was even back in the 70s. And that cheese, you could have macaroni and cheese. You could have grilled cheese. Any kind of dish you want with that cheese because it was so big that thing lasted forever. I don't know how they preserved it, but it lasts forever. So what we're going to do, we're just going to have a cheese sandwich. Now, I normally don't just have a cheese sandwich. I normally like to have my ham and my cold cuts, but this is just going to be American cheese. And of course, this is more of the softer brand American cheese wrapped in the paper, goes in our fridge. And I'm going to go on ahead, and this is just regular bread. I'm going to have one slice, and I'm going to add some mustard. Now, that was something that was very common back then. They used a lot of mustard for their sandwiches. So let's go on ahead, and even ketchup sandwiches they would have. So this is just a regular mustard. I use regular mustard purposely. I made sure not to use the spicy mustard because, like I said, they were very, very frugal back then in order to feed their families. So I'm going to go on ahead, and I just did one slice. And I'm going to tell you how I like it. Now, I made a mess with the mustard. I'm glad I didn't get it all over me. But I'm going to take another bite, try it again. We'll see. That's not bad. I mean, it's probably not something I'm going to eat all the time. But if we ever run out of cold cuts and we just have bread and cheese, throw on some mustard, and it's fine. I've always been interested in how the people survived back then. I think it's so important for us to have different survival skills. You know, now, of course, we don't live in fear. It has nothing to do with fear. what it has to do with is learning how to do different things that are very easy if you ever don't have enough groceries. That's still going to feed the family and fill up the bellies. Next one I'm going to have is just the good old bread with some mayonnaise. That was something they did a lot, was have mayonnaise sandwiches. So let me know in the comments, did you ever have a mayonnaise sandwich when you were a kid? Your mom and dad didn't have the money to buy groceries all the time, and you know, you had to stretch the food. So we're going to go on ahead and try the mayonnaise with the bread. I've never had a mayonnaise sandwich. This is my first time having a mayonnaise sandwich. So we're going to go on ahead. Now, I like mayonnaise, and I like putting it on my cold cuts. I like putting it in my potato salad and stuff like that, but I've never just had a mayonnaise sandwich. So first time for everything. So let's go on ahead and let's try this. Okay. I'm going to fold it. Are you a sandwich folder? Do you always have one slice? How do you make your sandwiches? So let's go on ahead and let's try this. Okay. I always have my napkin. If you always see me do this, I do it out of manners, okay? Because I don't want to be like chewing in the camera all the time. So that's why I do that. Okay, here we go. I like it. Surprisingly, I like it better than the cheese and the mustard. I like that. It's like putting some butter on a bread. It is so good. Now, for those of you who have never done this, I put mayonnaise on my corn on the cob, and it is delicious. I love it. With some salt, it's really good. So I'm gonna have another bite. Elijah. I won't give him this. He sees me eating it. He's like, I want some. Well, I gotta say, folks, I like that. And that's pretty good. Which one I prefer between the two of those, I'll let you know at the end of when I'm done with everything. But those were good. They were not bad. But I like the mayonnaise. I like that. I think that's a nice little sandwich to have as a tie over till dinner if you're kind of hungry. Throw some mayonnaise on a piece of bread, and not bad at all. Now, this is very different. Let me cover my mayonnaise because we don't want that to spoil. And I'm going to move these over. Now, I have some milk in this cup. I've never tried this. And it's going to be popcorn. I'm going to take a little bit of popcorn. I just got this out the microwave. And I'm going to put some popcorn in this little bowl. The reason why I chose a small bowl, because I don't know if I'm going to like this. And I don't want to waste the popcorn. That's Elijah playing with the top. So here we got some popcorn. I'm going to take some milk, and I'm going to pour the milk in the popcorn. Like I said, I have never had anything like that. And I'm going to sprinkle some sugar on top. This is definitely a Great Depression food they used to eat as cereal. Okay? So that's my sugar. I don't know if I'm going to like this. This is very weird for me. But you'd be surprised what we would eat if we're hungry. And this is a good way, if you want to do this at home, when you're done watching this video, maybe do something fun with your kids and have them try to taste something different. Because you're ever in a situation where you're going to have to, you know, do an alternative to what you're used to eating. We just never know, folks. This is good to know. So now we're going to try the popcorn cereal. I have never had popcorn cereal, but we're going to try it. I'm almost afraid to do this. Really am. Here we go. Here we go. Got some milk. Popcorn. Try again. Not bad at all. Once the milk goes on it, you lose some of the crunch and you're eating soggy popcorn. But it has a different taste and it's really good. So, would I eat these foods if my pantry was very low, I didn't have the money? Which one would I eat first? The grits and the eggs, because I love grits and I love soft eggs. Even the soft boiled eggs, I've always loved them since I was a kid. So I wouldn't mind having a sunny side up egg. I think this one here, it's a very filling meal. Even if you have to do that now, if you're running low on groceries, you don't get paid till the following week, this is a very filling meal. I'm thinking you can also make some soft boiled eggs with some pasta and put that on top of some noodles, and that might be delicious also. There's so many different ways you can cook something up, right? So many different ways. From these two, you already know I like the mayonnaise with the bread. I think it's very flavorful. I think it's really good. Do I like the mustard and the cheese? Sure, I would eat it if I needed to, and that's all I had in my fridge. Definitely, but the mayonnaise with the bread would be my first choice. Popcorn and milk would be my last. It's not bad. It's not horribly bad, but it's good. It's okay. If you're really hungry, you want some substance, this would be good to have. It's not horribly bad. And maybe if you had like some sweet kettle popcorn or something like that, that might also be very tasty. But with this, once the milk gets into it, you kind of lose the flavor of the popcorn. You have a little bit of the flavor and then it gets kind of soggy. So I would say I would go with this as my first choice if I'm making a meal and I had to eat. You know, during the Great Depression, people went through so many things. They used their ration cards to buy what they could afford for their families. They didn't get ration cards every week and were able to just go out to the store and buy name brand cereals. You know, biscuits and flour and all that. They had to buy what was the cheapest and what was the best. You know, we're not living during a Great Depression time right now, and we're to be thankful to God for that. But we are living in a time where things are expensive. And sometimes it's so easy to go out and just want to buy expensive groceries, expensive name brand things, when we have things we can do with at home. If we just can put them together and see what they taste like. You don't have to have 100 ingredients to make a good meal. Sometimes just having something like grits and eggs is a good meal. Something like mayonnaise and bread will be a good meal also to have if you're hungry. So from my Proverbs Home Kitchen to your kitchen, I hope you enjoy and always thank God for what you have to eat, because we are a very blessed country that we get to sit and we get to have the meals that we have. And we never know when we're ever going to get to a point where we really need to economize and eat what we have. And I can tell you, these weren't bad at all. May God bless you, and everyone have a great day.